YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. We are Super Bowl week. It is Monday of Super Bowl week. Exciting time to get after it. Talk some bets. I think we're going to be talking mostly the spread stuff, all the, game previews, props. Wednesday, Friday will obviously be what we do is all the fun stuff. Cross sport, we got some UFC, we got some. It sucks because golf. We'll have to figure out if we want to do any golf, but that's waste management. That's on Thursday, so we'll figure out. Maybe we'll have some of those on Wednesday as well. But it's always an exciting time around Super Bowl time. Stu, how you doing, man?
Doing good. It's weird. First weekend without NFL or football in general, college, nothing like that. So, watching some NBA blowouts on Sunday. We had UFC, which was pretty good on Saturday, luckily, to kind of carry a little bit. But yeah, I was watching the Grammys yesterday. I had some bets on the Grammys. I wasn't watching, actually. I was keeping up on my phone, box score watching pretty much. But I had some money down, so it was good, good to keep up with that. But yeah, excited to have football back. It's my favorite sport. It's obviously in my name, in my handle right here. So I'm going to miss football season. This is like our last, week of real football talk here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit more excited towards the beginning. I don't know if it's just the Super Bowl not really being like crazy for me. But I don't know, usually around fantasy time, fantasy football stuff and all that kind of comes around. That's when I usually get a little more hype. But, now that I'm like hoping for it to get warm, I got to get hyped for baseball, because you guys aren't suffering like me, bro. I'm suffering more than you. I'm sitting here in the negative degrees all the time. I'm putting on 3 layers. I mean, I'm suffering. So, like, once it's done, I'm like, okay, baseball season's right after March Madness. So, like, they start coming around. I'm like, fuck yeah, like this is where I'm going. So I'm like, I'm sad to see football go, but I'm wanting to see like 3s and 4s in front of my temperature versus a fucking negative sign.
Sure. No, that's fair. Yeah, it's pretty rough here too, honestly. DC, we had snow on one day. It only snowed once, last Sunday, right? We got like 8 inches, a bunch of ice, like sleet, all that stuff. DC schools are still on a 2-hour delay today. No joke. Like this city has no ability to handle. It's insane. Every sidewalk is like a mountain. It's insane. Like it's brutal. So you guys have it worse temperature wise, but we have it. I'm sure some people in the South as well, if they're in here as well, have it where you're just like, this snow's going to be here for a month, like just stacked up everywhere. Cause it's been cold as hell, not going above freezing. So, at least you got, clear, streets and everything like that. Our fucking city can't even handle it. We get snow once every 2 years, and it's a tragedy out here.
Just to put that in perspective, I think the high on Saturday was 3 degrees, and there was over 10,000 people who came to that fucking card show downtown Milwaukee. That's how many people fucking just went out there and say, fuck it, dude, it's not that bad. It ain't that cold. I'm ready. We're still gonna get after it. And we're gonna go spend some money. So yeah, and I seen some fucking people in shorts, bro. And I'm like, dude, I don't get that. Ooh. Those guys are crazy. But yeah, I wasn't even that bad. After seeing a couple of negative 30s, you just get used to just that, and it's like fuck. And once it gets to like 30 degrees, I'll probably be wearing shorts myself, bro. So getting back into it.
Yeah, we can all pray for that weather. We can all, I mean, I'm not going to be shorts in the winter. That's not me, but once we start getting a little closer, springtime, that's when you can start, breaking them out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's we'll touch on what our boy Thomas said already in the chat, just because we have a recap here to do quick. Because we had NBA on Friday. I'm kind of pissed, dude. I had Bub, but I had his 6 as well. His straight line did end up getting there. I think he had 6 and not playing any of the 4th because it got 50-pieced in that one. I thought he'd get a little bit more run in blowout time, but that was not the case.
Yeah, it was just like the game was so uncompetitive. Like we were there. We were on track again. Like you said, he got his regular line at 6, but unfortunately the game was just not remotely close, to the point where, like you said, even the young guys weren't really playing. And he also had like 5 turnovers as well, which is brutal when you got like the guy open and you throw it out of bounds. Like we got to cut down on the turnovers a little bit, but yeah, felt good about it. Like you said, got pretty close there, but unfortunately the blowout kind of killed us a little bit.
Yeah, I know that sucked because I was keeping track. Obviously, I had bet on him, and I took a straight line, so I ended up cashing out. Like a little bit more than half a unit on that, so that was great. But fuck, that was frustrating. I just didn't realize they were gonna get blown out like that. But with some bad luck comes a good luck, and we did get Keontae George at 36 because he fucking turned his ankle with 6 minutes left in the game. Luckily for us, he smashed it. Like he smashed it. We had 6 minutes left to go. I was pissed because I had his double. He had 7 assists. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get close. But no, they had him out the rest of that game, unfortunately, because obviously the ankle injury is when you're playing for nothing like the Jazz, and Laurie was playing that game, so just give Laurie a couple more extra shots, right? I think that's pretty much what they kind of went with there. So
yeah, and George was efficient as hell, right? I mean, he was like barely missed any shots, so it was good to see, even though a little sweaty there. It was good to see him.
Yeah, he is fucking good, dude. Hey, again, how am I not finding any Keontae George cards? I've been looking for him. I've been looking around, bro. I'm like, I need some because this dude's been making me money. Same thing with Dak. I can't fucking find a Dak card to save my goddamn life, dude. I'm trying to find some and no one has any. So, if you have any, shoot me a DM. Make sure you shoot me a DM because I'm definitely looking to pick up a couple of those closer to the season here as well. So, last thing before we get into NFL, what's up, guys? How the hell is Kawhi Leonard not an All-Star? I do not know. The tough part is you have the automatic guys in the West, right? You just have the auto guys. So, like, can't take Luka out. You can't take LeBron out, right? Because LeBron is just, greatest dude of the generation. So, you got him. And like I said, Luka's kind of on another planet right now. I think Sengun was the big reserve. Trying to even pulling through who their whole thing was. SGA obviously will make that.
Well, I think the big thing was Denny, right? Denny made it over Kawhi, right? Which is kind of like a little crazy. But,
the thing is like that team around Denny has been hurt as hell. And that dude for like a 3 to 4 week period was a top 3 player in the league. For like 3 weeks, he was putting up almost 30 a game, bro, and like full on carrying that team. I think the tough part is you have another superstar in Harden with you that kind of I feel like kind of takes it away a little bit. Denny literally carried that team when I think they had 3 starters out. It was just pretty much damn near him and Klingon, and then they finally decided to put Shaedon Sharpe in the starting lineup, which is not good for anybody involved if you're trying to get up any sort of shots.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, as a Denny guy, I was happy to see. But, yeah, I think Tyrone also mentioned Kawhi had his PR problems with the scandal earlier in the year, the Pablo Torre stuff. So that could be part of it, honestly, as well. You see, guys, like non-basketball related things kind of play a role. So wouldn't be surprised. I did see a lot of outrage about the Kawhi stuff. I haven't been, I've only been diving deeper into NBA recently, so I don't have any strong opinions, honestly, on the All-Star thing. But Kawhi's made a lot of All-Stars in his day. My boy Denny probably won't make any more, so I'm happy to see it. Or maybe he will. I don't want to hate, but it's obviously a tough bar to clear. So I'm happy to see some new blood in there,
Yeah, and a lot of new guys are making it in. Jalen Johnson having a fucking big boy year, well-deserved. Sure. Jalen Duren, obviously been fantastic, well-deserved there as well. So I feel like it's mostly on that side of the equation on the West because I feel like the East, those big dudes, the big guys that are getting in their first-timers, they're well-deserved. They're very well-deserved to get that spot.
100%. Yeah, Duren's another good example of another guy that you gotta feel happy for. Grinded it, got it, and earned the All-Star. So I'm always happy when those. And yeah, like you said, Johnson too. They made it the future for him. I mean, got rid of Trey. Like they're pushing their chips in, and I mean, we're just a jumper away from being one of the best players in basketball. So hopefully he can get there. But even kind of without it, still awesome. So yeah, a lot of fun. As much people like to hate on the NBA, a lot of fun young players in the league right now.
Agree. Definitely agree. So let's get this going. I think we're at 1 full unit now. We are at 1 full unit on this spot, 2-1 on the season. in the NBA streets. And let's move to Super Bowl preview. We got the Seahawks here. They're minus 4.5. Still, I don't know how long that'll stay. We'll talk about that for a little bit. But really haven't seen a ton of line movement. Maybe Devin Booker moved it with his minus $3.5 million bet, maybe that moves the line a full point when you get $1 million on it. So Seattle is minus 4.5 versus the Patriots here, over under 45.5. I guess let's just start at the front of this. Spread. What are we thinking here, Stu? We feel like 4.5 is a good price. I thought it'd move a little bit more by this point, but obviously we talked on the show. Maybe we talked a little bit after. I told you my biggest bet of this is going to be Seattle money line with the fucking greasy ass heavyweight fight that was Tullis and Teixeira. Holy fuck. That was so sweaty. I don't even want to talk about that fight. It was so horrible. But hey, shout out. He got the first leg done. So I have a minus, I think it's minus 115 ticket on the Seattle money line here. So I'm feeling good. 1.5 units on that after watching that disgrace of UFC. So.
Yeah, no, you and me obviously we're on the same page there. Also sweating that. I do have some Seattle minus 4.5 as well. Not like a huge bet, but like we said, I think we reacted a little bit on the show when the line first came out, and it was one of those where it's like I don't normally bet on the Super Bowl. Like it's normally a pretty efficient number, and I do think in all 4.5 is a pretty efficient number. But I like Seattle. I like the upside Seattle has in this game. But I mean, it's interesting, right? Because it's been pretty one directional Seattle love. Like I would say most of everyone I know, most of the internet, most of the smart people I follow, most of the people I know in real life that just casually watch football, seems like everyone's kind of in agreement that Seattle's going to win this game. And that's a little concerning when you have that much love from across the board, right? And then the line isn't really moving. Like 3.5 was there for like an hour, instantly goes to 4.5, and then it's been there since. And a ton of money has come in, and the sports books across the board still feel pretty comfortable with this 4.5 being like the main number you're seeing across the market. So what that means is that there are people, not Devin Booker, who is doing undisclosed advertisements for Fanatic Sports Books. Smart people that make a lot of money betting sports are invested in the Patriots. That's just how this works. Like you don't need to know like individually to know with the way the line is moving, with the consensus agreement being on Seattle, what's keeping the line the way it is a shit ton of money from people who are, probably pretty sharp bettors betting on the Patriots. So that's interesting, when I think that's always something to kind of keep in mind of just like, it shouldn't really impact your bets. You should still kind of bet on the side you like. Like I said, I do like Seattle on this one. But it definitely made me think a lot heavier about how the Patriots can win. What are their win conditions in this game? Because I'm kind of curious why we haven't seen a 5.5. I kind of thought like 6 could be the game day number of this, honestly. And we just haven't seen that line movement yet. But we'll dive a little bit deeper into the details of the game. But just that's kind of my thoughts on the line movement and I guess the lack of line movement kind of since we reacted to this a week ago.
Yeah, dude. And I think it's funny because I was kind of locked in that, card world for how many days in a row. The amount of people trying to sell off their Drake Mays, they're trying to all sell them off, dude. I had so many people. I probably saw upwards of 500 Drake May cards come through my booth. I probably had maybe 100 JSN / Kenneth Walker cards. And I would say probably half of those come from one guy who was a Seattle fan and just had some fucking sweet JSN cards. But I don't know, dude. That just kind of even leaves me more like all these dudes are just like these. I don't know if they're more casual people. I would assume they are. They were just talking like, hey, we're going to, try to sell these off before the Super Bowl. And a couple of my people who have a lot more money than me in the card game were buying some pretty high-end Drake May stuff. So, just hoping for the win, and then you get like a 30% boost on that card. So it's like that's the gamble of all gambles because some of those cards are like 5,000 to 7,000. So it's like it's a risk. But I feel like I would be a lot more on the Seattle side as well.
If I were buying cards, as someone that doesn't know this industry, but you want to buy before like something big could happen, the people I would look at JSN, because I think JSN could win Super Bowl MVP, which is kind of rare for it to not be a quarterback, but I do think you could see it. I would go for my boy Rashid Shaheed. Already has a touchdown on special teams, already has the deep ball. I could see a long shot path for Rashid Shaheed to be Super Bowl MVP. And then final one, curveball, only active player in the NFL to have a special teams, defensive, and offensive touchdown, Marcus Jones for the Patriots as well. Another super, super deep Super Bowl MVP, like out of nowhere guy. Or he could have an iconic interception. Christian Gonzalez, another guy as well. I don't know how much defensive stuff is out there, but those are my takes.
There's not even that much Shaheed cards out there. There's a lot of JSN. There's some really cool optics. You should go look at some optic rated rookies, possibly looking at that at your local. I'm sure DC's probably got some loaded card shops, bro. So they probably got some pretty crazy shit out there. But yeah, it was a lot more Pokemon in my booth than I was expecting to see this week. But yeah, we can move on over to the over under here, Stu. I don't know, man. I feel like this is just kind of a weird number. It just kind of sits there. It hasn't really moved. Goes up a half, goes right back. I haven't really seen it leave that 45.5 on multiple books that I'm on. I think the whole thing with Seattle just fucking boat racing some of these teams and putting up some big boy numbers. Yeah. And then you look on the Patriots side, who've really struggled offensively. I don't know if I was going to play anything, probably under, it'd be a team total on the Patriots, I think, because I do lean a little bit more towards Seattle on this. I don't know. I think talk me out of this, Stu. Talk me out of betting that, because I think that's the spot I'm leaning towards a little bit here.
I like the under. I like the under in this, honestly. I think the problem with the under is it's one of those games where we've seen Drake May have a lot of turnover stuff, some sack problems at times. Like, that could be big with Seattle forcing defensive touchdowns, right? And then on the other side, we've seen Sam Darnold have playoff meltdown, right? Last year, obviously, we've seen Sam Darnold see ghost in primetime before. Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but a really bad Sam Darnold game could still lead to points with turnovers and then having to fight back in more of a pass-heavy game script. And pass-heavy game scripts, what can that lead to? More turnovers, more interceptions. So I do see, like, even defense creating a path to the over here. But the more and more I dive deep into this game, I just think the best parts about both of these two teams are their defenses. And I think that's what's a little underrated about the Patriots and what they've done well. And I think the path to victory for the Patriots comes in their defense, right? They've been blitzing a shit ton in the playoffs. You got to make Sam Darnold see ghosts. That needs to be the game plan, right? Sam Darnold has seen two teams that do not blitz. They get pressure with 4, right? A lot of their schematic game plan is to naturally get pressure and not send an extra rusher. They haven't seen too much of this style of defense, which is going to be like cover 1, cover 0. We're sending the house. We're sending cornerbacks on blitzes. We're sending safeties on blitzes. Like, the Patriots are going to come at you. And I think that's an interesting dynamic. So when I look even at props and a lot of stuff in this game, I just don't see a ton of paths with how good these defenses are to a super high scoring game. I don't really see the shootout in this one. So I lean the under, honestly. I don't think the under is a bad play. I see there's like a couple minus 115s for like 46 even. And I could see myself playing some of that, I think the under would be the way I would go.
Okay. Yeah. I just know I can't take much from that Houston game because CJ Stroud was the worst quarterback on planet Earth. So like that's why I think I maybe might lean that under too, is just because I know Darnold's had some bad games, but I don't know if there's ever been one like that where it's like run around, throw it 10 feet in the air because I'm about to get sacked. Run around, take a sack just because. Run around, there's someone in my face, throw it up. Like, Darnold's had some tough ones. I know he had that couple against the Rams there, but honestly, I kind of like that. When that Rams team did that to him, that defense was fucking good. That front seven was on a heater in that early part of the season too. So I don't know. I'd like to look at what that Patriots team total is. I also kind of look at first halves in these Super Bowls too, because we've seen a lot of them kind of start a bit slower. Yeah. and then kind of turn up in the second half. So I think that'd be kind of the way I do it. Probably be a little bit different just because I don't know, it's the fucking Super Bowl, man. It's the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, I think Seattle's the side I lean into. That Patriots with the team total under, I think, might be the spot for me to go to at this point with the number where it is.
And I know people play this every year because of the statement you just said, but I kind of like first quarter under in this as well. Because like you said, you see the slow starts, right? But one, the Patriots have gone 3 and out to start both playoff games, right? Or all their playoff games so far. They've not been starting strong. And obviously tough defenses, sure, but it's been instant punts for the Patriots to start. And then the Seahawks, I mean, the Seahawks are one of the most run-heavy teams in football, right? And even when the Seahawks earlier in the year were winning games, they were still not very good running the ball, right? But they still did it anyway. I could see the Seahawks coming out here and going, I know you guys haven't allowed a 50-yard rusher all year long with Milton Williams in there, but we're going to make you force us to pass. Like, I don't think they want to put Sam Darnold in that spot where the crazy blitzes could get to him and force a turnover. So I think to start the game, like, I think you're going to see Kenneth Walker, whether he's doing well or not, running into that line, which means, and personally, I don't think he's going to do that well in that matchup. So for me, I think, I don't know what the number is, but I think first quarter under would be definitely something that I would take a look at as well there.
Yeah, I saw his line because, of course, Stephen A. Smith is betting NFL props on fucking ESPN.
Sure,
like,
of course.
The guy's been really good, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He's been a beast all year, 1,000-yard rusher. So 72.5 yards for Kenneth Walker was his bet. I'm like, bro, what are we?
Genius.
And then I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh God. And I obviously mute it. So then I have to fucking read it, which is even worse. And I'm like, God damn, dude, this is fucking I'm going to get like a fucking tumor or something in my fucking head, dude. Just listening to this fucking bum talk.
Well,
about it was bad.
I mean, if you're tailing Stephen A. Smith bets, that's not a good look for you personally either. Whoever's out there, like, no offense, but if you're out there and you're like, oh, Stephen A. Smith's making some good points, like, he's reading off the teleprompter, right? This dude supposedly covers every major sport and politics and everything. Like, he has no clue what the fuck is going on. So you're getting whatever his intern cooked up an hour before. And, it's Stephen A. Smith. Like, I don't know what would make anyone want to tail one of his bets, like, what great argument is Stephen A. Smith making for Kenneth Walker that's going to change your mind? So, you got, like, I obviously it sucks that he's on air and doing that, but if you're tailing those bets, you're part of the problem as well. We got to get some responsibility for everyone there.
Yeah, and it's on ESPN bet too, so it's even just more fuel to it. So should be interesting on those. But yeah, I think we got through our game preview here. I know you kind of mentioned a couple guys you're thinking that's like our long shot possible, maybe crazy MVPs, even though we're kind of talking cards in it. You kind of brought it into that. I know Wednesday will be a little longer show because we'll actually drop props, like real props, before Friday, when obviously we're going to be talking some, we have big games. We got big college basketball games on Saturday. We can have those. I'm sure they'll have cross matchups on that. I know they've done a couple of like receiving yards first one guy versus the team total over for a team on Saturday. Some cool shit. They do some great stuff, and hopefully we'll have it out early enough on Friday for us to get all those in.
100%. Yeah, there's always some interesting combos. Normally, whatever the premier like NBA game of the weekend or that you get the points crossovers or stuff like that first half. So I always think that's fun. It's more angles. It's more unique props. That the sports books just don't have experience pricing, right? You kind of want to do that. But it's interesting because obviously you and me kind of not rare agreement, but on the same side, we both obviously have Seattle bets in different capacities, both on the money line. I've some 4.5 as well, and I felt a little bit better at the beginning of the week about it. Like not seeing any movement at all and stuff is a little like, okay, 4.5 is what it's going to be now. But hey, there's always the public late money as we get into actual Super Bowl week. I could definitely see it getting up a little bit more, but Seattle's been great all year long. We've been on the bandwagon since the beginning. This ain't new over here on Past the Prop. You can go check those preseason futures or even the preseason future recap show. I know you did on here as well. Like we were from the beginning pro Seattle, and it's good to see that evolution and them kind of living up to everything. So I think they get the win in this one, but I do think the Patriots make it close. I think it's ugly. I think it's low scoring, and I think you're going to see a lot of defense from both sides in this one. So, that's why I was kind of mentioning some of those Super Bowl MVP stuff, right? Because normally, I don't know if you remember past years, I shit on a lot of those bets, right? People every year was like, Aaron Donald's going to win, and I'm telling you, and I'm like, don't do that. Like, I get the love, but like, I could actually see with the defenses on both sides, like a freaking Gonzalez interception or something crazy, or Eamon with how much hype he's getting as this versatile player. Like I could see some crazy guys getting Super Bowl MVP this year. More likely, I think, on the Seahawks side. No offense to Sam Darnold, but I do think like a Rashid Shaheed or something like that could be a once again special teams if he starts the game the way he did against the 49ers. I mean, hey, what does he go from 100 to 1 to what 10 to 1 at that point if there was a live Super Bowl MVP market, so this year I would say would be the year if you want to get great. Even Kenneth Walker against one of the best rush defenses in football, let's say he goes 20 for 125 with 2 touchdowns and a couple catches. It's kind of hard to argue he doesn't deserve it against a team that's been so dominant against the run. Like, I don't know. It could get a little dicey this year, which I think makes it fun, which is as opposed to what Patrick Mahomes minus 250 in the past couple of years, Tom Brady minus 250, even though fucking, Leonard Fournette probably deserved it. Like they're just going to give it to the quarterback. But if there's a year where you could see a little bit of change, especially if you agree with me that it's going to be a lower scoring game, maybe a big defensive play makes the difference. Maybe a big special teams play makes the difference. Like, hey, I think it's there have been a lot better or worse years to bet long shot MVPs than this year. I think you got a chance if that's your style this year.
Well, also, I mean, even on the Patriots side, Drake May, I mean, two defenses that are probably similar to Seattle in these last 2 games with Denver and Houston, averaging 130 yards passing, 1.5 touchdowns a game, pick in there. I know he's running for 30 yards a game in those 2, but it's like, is that MVP worthy? 130 fucking passing yards and a touchdown and, a rushing touchdown? I mean, I don't know if that's like the worst stat line of any MVP ever with like, 150 passing yards? I definitely could see it.
Yeah, that's what I just couldn't think of who like Ramondre would be like real crazy. He'd have to do so much. So then that's why Gonzalez would be like more defense would be the way I was thinking. But no, you're not wrong. The thing about them though, if they do win and you do have one of these long shots and it's close, what scares me is just one of those like signature moments, running for a first down late in the game, like he sealed it last time out. Even if he has a dog shit game, like he probably wins the MVP of last game as well over Ramondre with that run, even though Ramondre he actually probably won them that game, or even you could say Gonzalez so I don't know. Like if May just gets one of those like game clinching plays or he's good at the right moment with how much they give it to quarterbacks, I could just see it. But maybe like, I guess a Diggs could do it without, but like what wide receiver could get there without May winning it? I don't know. So then it would have to be running back, Ramondre. It's hard for me to see Ramondre winning. I'm going to be honest. He doesn't have the name value, so I don't know. I would say Christian Gonzalez, I will have a bet probably on and Marcus Jones. I got to, even though he's clearly not going to win. I mean, you need like a special teams touchdown and a pick, but hey, he could do it theoretically. So I'm going to waste a couple of bucks on those, and inevitably it will be Sam Darnold, but it's what we pay for the journey along the way. Right.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, Ramondre had 25 fucking carries? Jesus Christ. I did not know it was that many in that game.
Yeah. Man. Well, it's all like second half though. Like in the playoffs, he kind of stat pads at the end of those games a little with like an extra 6-7 carry, and also the weather, led to it. But I don't see him getting that many against Seattle. I mean, let's be real. Ramondre, he's getting his like 15 at most,
For sure. All right, we got Big Ben talking about how he has Stevenson in there, Diggs in there as well. You never know. I mean, he's had multiple turnovers in some of these games too, which makes it, lean even more towards us. So hopefully I'm just hoping for a good football game. Last year sucked. So
yeah, it did. Good to see no Philly in the postseason or in the Super Bowl. You ran out to talk to them in weeks. What are they going to burn down? Like, it must be a weird, empty feeling, But
well, they'll probably get in fights across, New England and Philly, just getting fights. It's close enough that they could throw shit at them. So
that's fair. That's fair. Maybe next year we'll see. With Sirianni back.
So no bets on the show today. Obviously, we appreciate you guys, though. We still got 20 of you guys in here. We appreciate you. I will make the link early. I'll make it right after this. If you guys want to drop some questions, Wednesday will be a full prop show. We will have our best bets, for the real props before the novelty props that we will have on Friday set for you guys. So, just make sure you guys are following, have this notification bell on. We will go live on Wednesday. I'm assuming at normal time. We'll make sure we figure that out in the meantime here. But we'll be back Wednesday with your props ready to go for your best bets. And hopefully I think we need about 2.1 units to finish the year above 20 units for the show on the full season. So definitely possible. We will have the novelty ones again, like I said, Friday. Hoping we don't have to rely too much on those to get us there, but maybe they always help.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Best week of the year. We get random fun shit to bet on. Coin toss, who are they going to think, God or their coach or, blah, blah, blah first. Like, I love all that shit. Give me as many markets to bet on as possible. Why not? And hey, we'll break it down if they do give them to us on the show here on Friday.
Awesome. We will be back Wednesday, guys. Pop in here. Bring your questions, and hopefully we'll be able to answer everything you got for us. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and we will catch you guys on Wednesday for our prop show.